While you're sniffling,
Yep.
stuffy too.
Yep. I'm on demand finally, so.
The back.
Yeah. Yeah, Charlie came in, so. Oh,
Hello. Lovely weather for ducks.
that's about it.
And worms. No, it's too cold for worms.
Yeah.
Lovely weather for ducks.
All right, let's go
And delayed.
ahead. Yeah, this must not be muted. No.
I thought this went in the mail. I've been having trouble, computer trouble all week. So this is my board report. You need me to send it to you electronically for the files?
No, I can.
I got lots of them. What?
Frozen right now. It's all
I've been on 665 this morning.
Well,
Literally went home, used the bathroom here. I just chilled with the phone.
that.
I checked over I reviewed the planning board trainings. We aren't getting them in. And I think they've been taken them. I sent Bruce a note
Okay, good.
saying, come December, I'm gonna have to come clean. And so, anyway, and the sad part is it's Ketley. He's way behind.
That's interesting.
Or he's not turning in his receipts. And so, and then I saw where you had to approve a state training, which was the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. So it's a state training.
Yeah,
Oh, and that's the requirement, right? So, but nobody, Bruce asked for it, but he never put in anybody that should have had it, and that's I can't remember if that's 1 hour or 4 hours, but regardless, it's on there.
all right, well, I'll seek him out tomorrow and push him.
Yeah, and I sent him a note this summer and said, and I think I did it again in the fall. I mean, I've been trying to be nice about it. But we don't want to see Kedley off of there.
I think some people would.
Well, maybe. Maybe he wants to go. I don't know.
No, I don't think so. He was in here yesterday or sometime this week reviewing stuff with Bruce and Kevin. So,
So he must, my thoughts are they've got it done and they just haven't sent it in, or it might be in Tracy's
in
mail.
Yeah,
Because she's been out a couple weeks, right?
yes,
Is that a hip
yes.
replacement?
No, not a replacement, a repair.
Yeah.
She's been in for a few hours, a couple days this week. I think she's bored out of her mind, but
Well,
she can't move too well.
she's busy probably either, right?
Right.
Is Bill on a call?
Bill is sick.
Well, I saw the ambulance, I saw an ambulance.
He's home and back.
But I wonder if that's Bill. There's this, that is all set now. We've got a PO.
Oh, I saw that.
Did you see the one that you asked about from last year?
Yes,
Okay, so I did go to parks, but if budget
Okay.
time, hold on to that, and then at budget time, remember.
okay, as long as you went to my parks last year, I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you for looking at that.
No problem. That's easy. That was an easy one.
That's
Sometimes I have to
Hey,
go
the
to.
mother got a meeting that's starting in about 3 minutes. So tell me on these,
But it's-
This is the day after.
so how many
Yeah.
shillings?
I never just.
Okay, you are,
I'm sure we did.
no, I am not. I
I mean-
look here. You're still there probably for another hour or
They
so?
haven't let any leaf pick up upon hell.
Yeah, yeah,
Up Meyer?
yep. They were up there all day yesterday and all day
Okay,
today.
Let
There's still a few
me
piles
see,
left,
did you
but not
copy
very many.
Liz
No, I
on
should.
that also?
And I've been stuck out for 3 weeks.
Okay.
There's stuff at
Can we
Lynn's I
speed
saw.
that?
I didn't drive down
up
Lynn
at all?
Street
Is there
today.
any way to do that?
3 weeks.
I can probably have Liz
Just-
call you with a credit card tonight, or should, or can she call you first thing in the
Yeah, they
morning?
were up there yesterday and today. People don't make using the vacuum easy. I don't
All
think we'll
right,
use
there's
it
nothing we
next
can
year.
do to speed that
There's
up.
sticks and lots of piles,
If we were to.
and that just jams the machine up. So,
All right,
Do they know they're not supposed to use,
Um,
have sticks in?
well, they've been told,
okay,
but
I'll
they
look
won't
at your
remind
thing.
it again this
Is it
year,
gonna, will
so.
it change it if we pay it today or tomorrow morning?
People
Does that
aren't, I
change
mean,
it?
we said the last brush pickup, you wouldn't believe the amount of brushes we put out since then.
Yeah,
I saw some piles today.
Yeah, and they're just leaving them right now. They
Okay,
got
I will look right now.
remains
and,
of stump
I
grindings to
will
pick
have
up next
Liz-
week, and then they'll,
You know what, I'm
pick
just
the
gonna give
sticks
you a
up
credit card now.
sometime
Is
in
there any
December.
charge for shipping? Let me, I just gotta set it out for a second, and I will give you don't have my card, do you?
he got what he called the bus arrest. And that sounds a lot worse than it was off.
yeah, my granddaughter was in the hospital 3 days last week with pneumonia.
Wow.
I've
Yeah.
been hearing a lot of little kids with pneumonia.
Yeah, and hers was really bad, so she just is coming around now. Yeah,
Pneumonia is scary.
and there were a lot of kids in there, and she was up there strong. Great place, though.
Yeah.
You gotta have a kid in the hospital, you can't ask for better.
Yeah, that's where you want to be.
Yeah,
Lisa's had the nursing home for a few weeks.
what's that?
Lisa's had the nursing home for. She's just,
Oh.
she's just about, her mom just got. Hopefully she. Why didn't go there once or twice, I said, I'm not going there the other.
Uh-uh.
That's for sick people.
The first four digits is
That's where sick people get. Tell me what you said.
That's right.
correct. Yes. Hey,
Yes.
okay. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yep. All right. We ready for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Bill is out with the, he called it the bus garage flu. And as far as I know, Matt's coming, so. He probably just got delayed. So our first order of business is the approval of the October 17th meeting minutes.
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor?
I,
In terms of my report, our water levels are now really 244.03. We just continue to drop. I don't think we've been this low in quite a few years.
yeah, it's really low.
down more than 8 inches from the last meeting. We're 6 inches below the long-term average. After it means anything, and if you look at the 6 month forecast that came out last week, we're probably gonna stay 4 to 6 inches below the long-term average, at least into April. So the rain we're getting tomorrow, tonight, whatever, might be helpful, but not much. Our water system study is done. I sent a link to all of you yesterday. I will send you another link tonight or tomorrow. I found a couple errors in it. They're very minor. You probably won't even see them, but they do correct them. So I will send a new link. So if you haven't downloaded it, wait till you get a new link. It's 150 some pages long.
Some heavy reading.
It is not easy reading.
No.
Over half of it's pictures and charts and things like that. So it's not horrible, but you're not gonna read it in half an hour.
Right. Dave, when you send that, could you send that to my Mac account, because I can't download stuff if I wanna print anything
Yep.
From the. At least not right now, I can't.
Yeah, and if you want a copy, I did print a copy and put it in a notebook here. We can print copies for you here.
Actually, that would be great,
Yeah.
Alright.
We did it two-sided.
because I do much better with that, I'm still old.
Me too. Me too. Community peer, we sent that report out last month and everybody's been. Tonight, we'll just accept that report. There's really no other action for us to take. We just need to continue to stay in touch with the SILs and continue to explore options for funding. It's not likely that anything's gonna happen for 2, 3, 4, 5 years.
But she is on board.
She is, so far, she's always been positive. You know, if you see the two of them walking, stop and talk to them and see what they tell you. But they've continued to tell Sharon and I that, you know, they're very interested. They think it's a great idea. They're just not ready yet. So the South Municipal parking lot, we finally got all the specs for the compactor. They have that. I expect that before Thanksgiving, I'll have another revision of that. There's really nothing changed except probably the budget and the drawing of the concrete pad. Streetlight maintenance,
And where is that gonna go?
the compactor, find that one.
Directly,
In the Willow Park parking lot.
and what are we gonna do to keep that so it's pretty? Do we have plans for that?
We have a lot of work to do on the compactor. I'm not at all convinced compactor's gonna happen. And
Okay,
Kevin and I are kind of arguing about it right now because he's not going after some dumpsters because people have agreed to use the compactor, but nothing's moving. So we gotta
do something.
We gotta figure it out. Well, Sharon has agreed to write an RFP for the contractor, for the compactor. So once that goes out, I think we'll have a more formal response from different vendors. And then we can take some action on it, and then I think it'll move. To date, everything's been phone calls from people in the office, residents, people that know people, do they really? So we're formalizing it. She's gonna write an RFP. We'll get that out. It'll probably be January before we see the results, and then we can make a decision and decide what to
Do
do.
we have any drawings for where that's exactly gonna go and that sort of thing
Yeah, it's all on the plan, but
on the parking plan
yeah,
or parking lot plan?
and Josh has been spoken to about it, and sometimes he's favorable and sometimes he's not. So
He's a little busy these days.
he's very busy these days. And apparently doing very well, so. Streetlight maintenance, our current agreement with NIPA runs out at the end of the year. We thought we could do it a lot cheaper. So we did send in our RFP to 7 different companies regionally. We got 3 responses back. Based on the work they did last month, it'll cost us 3 times as much if we do our own thing. Brad and I were shocked. So I've asked NIPA for another year contract. They'll give us one for January and February. They're changing contractors in March. So soon I will get one for January and February that we can act on, and then sometime the first couple months of the year, we'll get one for a year. It also got very complex. The questions these contractors asked, Brad and I struggled to find answers for. We have learned that the nodes that were installed on all of our lights that communicate are no longer made. That company's been bought by Ventella, which is just another company. But they have their own stuff. So there's a lot of questions to be asked of NIPA and people that come and service them. Ethics Committee, we got 5 volunteers, I think, so far. Our committee, by our book, is only 5 members, and it has to include an employee. So we'll take the first 4 members. I'll put them on our organizational meeting, and we can go from there.
Who is it?
Alan Frost is one. Scott Johnson is one.
Katie Tierney,
Katie Tierney
Sandra Flora.
and Maxine
Maxine.
King. In terms of wastewater, Josh put a report in here. He's definitely learning a lot from TNT Environmental. Also learning what the limits are and what's extra and what they'll do with him. He's been following through on a lot of loose ends maintenance items that. It's the next one in your pile, Laura. He's been following through on a lot of maintenance items that frankly Jeff just didn't follow through on consistently. So got the pumps in Lake Road 2 lift station fixed. South Shore 1 is still struggling and flights coming back first week in December to work on that. And the guy from Williamson has helped him with the press. He's lined up a septic hauler to come in and help clean out some of the lift stations where there's just sludge that's accumulated over years.
What is the 1.152 MGD?
150,000 gallons a day.
Okay, measured gallons or
It's
something.
measured, it's gallons per day.
Question on the people that are coming in, TNT. Are they physically here in Sodus Point on occasion?
Every day, or at least a half hour.
Okay,
They don't stick around long,
okay,
but they're here every day. And Josh is doing the tests every day, and they are verifying them,
Yeah.
reviewing them, answering questions,
mhm,
looking at the plant with him. Things like that.
And that's helping him with what he's got to do for his testing and
Yes,
everything.
yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, he's feeling much, much better.
good.
That's a good
And
investment.
also keeps us in compliance with the state.
Yeah, and the state was really starting to hassle us, so.
Good.
So that's
Well,
good.
not the hassle.
Well, it is what it is. Kathy?
Tourism. I met with the Wayne County, Tourism Director, Christine, what is that her last
Yeah.
name? To talk about the information center and, you know, she's a woman that knows a lot of things. I think you all know her. So we talked about, you know, what we could do and different options and, staying within a budget. I'm meeting with Carly Straubing also. She's our information or our communications person. Town of Sodus has approved $1,500 towards the information center for expenses for this coming year. The town also will be working on a business listing pamphlet for Sodus, and this would be useful. People have questions when they come to the information center, where is this kind of a business or whatever. So I'm gonna be sitting in on that committee, at least part of the series. December 8th, there's a lot of things going on in Sodus Point. There's a lot of sales, artisan sales, craft sales. The neighborhood association has a family holiday fest with Santa in the community center. There'll be fire truck rides from the fire department. So come out, bring your family and bring your pocketbook and wallet and spend some money. And there's all kinds of sales. I don't even know where they all are. Ambulance, For the month of October, Silver Waters had 15 responses, 8 of them were billable, 7 were public assists. There were 9 advanced life support assist to those responses. And then additionally, there were 3 standbys. Total responses for this year so far, this calendar year, is 180. Silver Waters is holding its holiday dinner on the 14th for members and guests. They'll be, they're gonna recognize the crew that was responsible. We had another CPR save, which was spoken about earlier, and they'll be recognized there. And Silver Waters will be standing in for the Wallington Fire Department, or the fireworks on Sunday, December 15th. And no report for the zoning board.
They did have another save yesterday.
Really?
They got the woman revived, got her to the hospital alive and talking. She ended up passing away in the hospital. Apparently a much more massive heart attack, but they did have another save.
Oh my, I did not know that. I haven't talked to Bill before yesterday.
Yeah, Keith was busy.
Wow.
And that's what the fire whistle was yesterday.
Our fire.
Yeah, I passed them on 104.
I mean,
It's ours.
holy mackerel is right. Oh.
But
All right, highway, obviously they're ramping up, getting busy, the change of seasons. They winterized everything that needs to be put up and put away for the winter. We currently have 2 trucks fully set up for this year. They're completely done with all brush collection. And the last collection was October 21st. Any brush you still have sitting out front should be brought down to the Featherly Drive drop-off area. They're currently in the middle of leaf collection, which started Monday and will go up until the 26th. And then that will be done. At that point, they will set up the remaining plow equipment for the winter. There's a lot going on in a short amount of time. These last 2 weeks, if you got any questions, please reach out.
thank you, Lori.
The LWRP is being reviewed by the individual members in sections. That was due to Sharon on the 27th in November. And we're waiting for the zoning amendment yet from BNL. An extension was filed. I think that we're still.
We're still waiting as far as I know.
Yeah. On the park, the playground committee has been busy giving presentations, contacting possible donors. We took part in the trunk or treat, Sodus Central School, and we continue to meet monthly. And we're in the process. I met with Scott Johnson last month. I'm glad you mentioned, we were given $5,000 to start work on ADA bathrooms. So I've contacted Barton with Judith. We're gonna try to build those at the same time we build the playground. We're pretty well set for our funding. RG&E and a bunch of them have come in now for the grounds work. So now we're actually to the point of selling equipment, basically. So it's moving along in the right direction, not nearly as fast as I'd like it to, but it's moving along at the right. So we've had a few wins. We've been meeting with some foundations. Had a nice talk with Lions National Bank, gave a presentation there, Reliant. And today I had a great conversation with Chase. And so inch by inch, we're going forward. And that's pretty much it. Planning board has been busy working on policy for the short-term rentals. It's amazing how much time they've put in. And their training is due by the 1st of December. I think the reorg meeting is, what date is that?
The statutory date is December 3rd.
Okay,
We'll talk about that before our meeting's over.
okay, great. And so anyway, then the climate smart communities, I attended the Village of Sodus's CEC meeting on Monday. EV grants have been on hold since the last meeting for Sodus Point. Here, have you heard anything on that? I haven't either. I still get that thing though that says, get your money or get your stuff into them. And I think we were gonna review that after the presidential election, so. But one of the things I did learn at the CEC meeting was that on the hybrid cars, and I think it's similar to Tracy's, but I don't know that, because I'm not sure what year it breaks up. If you had both a gas powered and the electric, um, they don't run on anything more than a level 2.
Okay.
So in that case, then we definitely need to keep some level 2s here. So that
And I
was,
think that's what we have.
and that's what we have. Sodus stopped theirs, for a little while because they were having problems with parking. And overuse, people would be leaving them there and they'd be plugged in, they'd go home, go to bed and things like that, so they're trying to resolve all those issues. But they're looking to put in more. So said that anything we didn't want, they'd be happy to take.
Okay.
So I said I would bring that to you. So that's that, I think.
All right, and in Kevin's report, he issued 6 permits, generated $1,085 in fees. He does have a note on here that the records room floor underneath us collapsed. He provided some pictures. Records have all been moved next door. The guys will get the shelves out of there, get the floor out of there, and then the engineer will take a look at what's under there and quickly design a floor for us to get built or poured, depending on.
I did go over and look at what they did at the community center, and they did a really nice job on that.
Yeah.
But if you go back to the reports I did with the structural engineers, we have a serious issue, and we're starting to see it, because both of these items have been mentioned in that report, that original report, that we were gonna have issues with them. The main, and I talked to Kevin about this today, because those restrooms are definitely in bad shape. He said that the men's room is really bad and the ladies' room isn't. I said, if the men's room is that bad, we probably should be looking at making it unisex and leaving the other one closed, but we really need to take a look at what's going on here.
We've had an engineer here again and over there again. And I think those are issues we're gonna have to tackle in next year's budget. For sure.
Okay.
All right, public comments. Anybody on Zoom? Unmute yourself, please. You can see any residents speak up. All right, we'll close public comments. Move on to new business. The community peer report, which everybody got in their bin last month, we just simply need to accept it. I'll try to answer questions if there are any. If not, we can just have a motion to accept it. That would be great.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The next item is surplusing engine 42. Which is the one that is rarely taken out. Bill's done some research on it. Part of the reason to do this is to make room in the firehouse with boats. And Bill's working on getting enough boats to put a bigger door in one of the stalls, so the boat and the rescue truck can both be inside. Right now, the boat's still in the water over at tide sides. And we'll stay there until the ice comes.
Okay. And then will tide sides house it for us?
Pardon?
Is tide sides gonna house it for us?
No, they'll bring it back over here.
And it'll be outside.
And they're, my guess is they'll put it inside and put the rescue out, but I don't know what their plan is. But it'll stay nearby so that it can be used. So this truck is a 1992. Top kick, whatever that means, GMC top kick, only got under 15,000 miles on it. Presumed to be worth or expected to be worth somewhere between $30,000 and $35,000. I wish Bill was here because there's somebody in Newark, I think, that is willing to sell it. Or we could send it to Auction International.
So much easier. It's
Okay,
so.
So like, it was probably James Alcino, wasn't it?
I don't, that doesn't ring a bell,
Okay,
could be, I don't know.
just wondering, I know he's got like 3 in his garage. Well, is that Tim? You didn't like this on it?
Pardon?
Is that Tim on there?
It might be. I mean, really, they don't use this truck.
Right, yeah, it's, I mean, if they're not using it and they're the ones wanting to put it up, it's, you know. I guess whatever venue, we're gonna make the most money without sitting on it for another 6 months.
Auction International's fast.
Yeah.
And we've used them successfully recently a lot, so.
And my question, next question is, the money from the sale of this is gonna go into their budget, but what's it gonna be going directly towards? Are we gonna use it to make a payment on the boat? Are we gonna use it to upgrade gear that they may need?
We'll probably put it in their reserve fund to buy another, they want to replace the other engine with something smaller that can maneuver our streets better. They don't have that spec'd out, but
So you just need a motion to move to
just
sell
surplus it.
surplus. And then you will take care of how we sell
Yeah,
it. So move.
Second.
all in favor?
Uh,
I'll let you talk about the town fire contract.
All right, so the annual thing that we do, they had their meeting and they decided for the year 2025 that they're going to give us 39,000. The town.
Which is what we got last year.
Yeah.
So we just have to approve the contract.
Yep. That is it. Everything is the same.
Yeah, so move.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second
All in favor?
I,
All right, on the water project, first we have to declare the village board as a lead agency for seeker, which is the state's environmental program. So you have a nice lengthy resolution here. And I don't really want to read. Well, basically, it's a type 1 action. Which means we're gonna have to have a SWIP and there's gonna be a lot of environmental work. When you read their engineering report, some of this is detailed in there. There's all sorts of invasive species that I never even heard of mentioned in the report, including some mussels somewhat. Can't tell from the map where they are, but there's even mussels somewhere in the field. So what we're doing is authorizing the mayor of the village to sign the part 1, which we'll review next, which is here, it's been completed by the consulting group. And then that starts the process. In the report, they outline a rough schedule that talks about stuff that happens over the next 6 to 8 months with anticipated completion in 2028. Whether that schedule is met or not depends on financing and decisions that the board will make going forward.
So basically, this is just getting the seeker out of the
This
way.
is, yes, exactly.
Okay. Do you want it read into the record or do you want me to just motion it?
Just motion is fine.
I move that we adopt the resolution declaring the intent of the village of Sodus Point Village Board to act as lead agency for the water system improvement project.
Second,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
I,
Okay.
I have one more thing for E. Um. To add onto their new business.
All right, can we get, you want to do that first or the seeker itself?
Oh, we got to do the secret
Yeah.
first. Okay, gotcha. All righty. let's do the secret first.
This
but
is
don't let me
part one.
forget that.
Won't take forever. Page one doesn't say much of anything. Total acreage is 998 acres. Physically disturbed approximately 10.5. Total site control and contiguous properties, about 34 acres. Is a proposed action an expansion of an existing project or use? No. Is it a subdivision? No. Will it be done in multiple phases? No. Does the project contain new housing? No. Does the project include new non-residential construction? No. Does the proposed action include construction that will result in the impoundment of any liquids? No. Does the proposed action include excavation, mining, dredging during construction operations, or both? No.
How do we know that?
We don't for sure. It depends on what the design actually says.
Which,
I'm on page 4 of 13. This is part one. Part two gets updated when the design is done. And then depending on the decisions made in part two, part three gets filled out.
Who put all of this together, B and L?
You know,
Okay. So this goes along with it. So when you say that we don't, we're approving the seeker, and we're approving the plan we just adopted. But until the money's there, it doesn't make any difference. But you said something about doing some of it at a little bit at a time, or I thought that was part of what we would have to do.
they've, when you read the report, there's basically two options. Do everything all at once.
Right.
Or scale back, don't do some of what's in everything, but do all the truly necessary stuff.
Right,
And the board, when it comes time for design, based on funding information and whoever's on the board at the time, the board will make the decision on which path is followed.
okay.
That we're not making any decision about what specifically will be done tonight or for months.
Okay,
Design would probably happen in January, February of 26.
okay. Great.
Yeah, I mean, this goes on forever.
Yeah, right.
Would the proposed action result in authorization, increase, decrease in size of wetlands, water bodies? Yes. And then they talk about the map streams and stuff. They also talk in the report about doing directional drilling under some of the wetlands to the extent that that's possible. Will the proposed action cause a result in disturbance to bottom sediments? Yes. Will the proposed action cause a result in destruction or removal of aquatic vegetation? The answer to that is no. Will the proposed action create new demand for water? No. Will the proposed action generate liquid waste? No. Will the proposed action use any existing public wastewater treatment facilities? No. Will a new wastewater treatment district be formed? No. Will the proposed action disturb more than an acre and create runoff either from a new point source? Yes. It talks about the fact that we're talking about a 998 acre site. No new point sources, but there will be ground disturbances which will result in temporary increases in runoff. Will stormwater runoff flow to adjacent properties? Yes. Does the proposed plan minimize impervious surfaces? No. Does the proposed action include or will use on site one or more sources of air emissions, including fuel, combustion, waste incineration? Yes. So we'll have the equipment running. Will any air emission sources named require a New York State air registration, air facility permit? No. I don't even know what that is. Will the proposed action generate or emit methane? No. Release air pollutants from open air operations? No. Result in substantial increase in traffic? No. Generate ambient noise? Will it exist? Will it produce noise exceeding the existing ambient noise levels? Yes. Tree clearing may be required. And that could be some of the noise barriers that are in place today. So that one's yes. Will the proposed action have outdoor lighting? No. Does the proposed action have the potential to produce odors for more than one day? No. Will the proposed action include bulk storage of petroleum? No. Does the proposed action include construction or modification of a solid waste facility? No. Will the proposed action involve commercial generation, treatment, storage, or disposal of hazardous waste? No. The existing land uses that will be touched include forest, industrial, agriculture, aquatic, commercial, residential. And then it breaks down the acreage in different categories. Any project site used by members of the community for public recreation? Yes. So there are water facilities in those as well. Are there any facilities serving children, the elderly, people with disabilities, schools, hospitals, and things like that? No. Does the project site contain a dam? No. Does the project site been used for municipal, commercial, or solid waste disposal? No. Have hazardous waste been generated, treated, or disposed at the site? No. Has there been a reported spill at the proposed site, or have any remedial actions been conducted? Yes. And they name all the spills that have been reported, including the numbers of the reports. It says within 2,000 feet of any site of the DEC remediation database? No. Is the project subject to institutional control limiting property uses? No. Is there any bedrock? No. Talks about some drainage status, any unique geological features? No. Does any portion of the site contain wetlands? Yes. Do any wetlands or other water bodies adjoin the project site? Yes, they do. Are any of the wetlands regulated by federal, state, or local agencies? Yes, they are. And it lists those. Any of the above water bodies listed in the recent compilation of New York State quality impaired water bodies? Yes. That includes the bay. Is the site in the designated floodway? Yes. Is it in the 100-year floodplain? Yes. Is it in the 500-year floodplain? No, I'm not sure that's right. But, is the project site located over or immediately adjoining a primary, principal, or sole source aquifer? Yes. The bay's right there. The lake's right there. Does the project site contain that significant natural community? Yes. Does the project site contain any species of plant or animal that is listed in the federal or New York State endangered? Yes. Does the project site contain any species of plant or animal that is listed as rare in New York State or species of concern? Yes. Is the project site or adjoining area currently used for hunting, trapping, fishing, or shell fishing? Yes. Is the project site or any portion of it located in the agricultural district? Yes. Believe it or not, Youngman's is an agricultural district now. Are agricultural lands consisting of highly productive soils present? Yes, there's a soil survey in the report that you'll see. Does the project site contain all or part of contiguous to national registered landmark? No. Is the project site located or listed in a critical environmental area? No. Does the project site contain or continues to archaeological? That's yes. Basically, that's the whole village. Is the project site or any portion of it located or adjacent to a SHPO area? Yes. Have any additional archaeological or historic sites been identified on the project site? No. Is the project site within 5 miles of a designated or public accessible federal, state, or local scenic or aesthetic resource? Yes. Is the project site located within a designated river corridor under Wild Scenic Recreational Rivers Program. No, and that would be it. So if we agree with most of that, I will sign that tomorrow and return it to B&L for distribution to all the regulatory agencies.
You need a motion.
Yes, we should accept part one as presented.
I make a motion to accept part one that we just went through as written
And authorize Dave, that was mayor to sign it.
and authorize Dave to sign.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right, Laura, you had something?
yeah. So I filled out all the paperwork from the, Friends of Willow Park for gaming for a golf ball drop for Sodus Point Village. And it came back with a denial because it's up to us. It's kind of like the fireman's thing. And so I talked to Kevin about it, and Kevin said that basically the village just has to give permission to do it. So we would like to have a golf ball drop either Memorial Weekend or sail around the point. And I haven't talked to the neighborhood association about this at all yet, because I thought I should get permission to do it, and we would bring it back with the information on what it is and all the rules, and follow all the rules that are supposed to be followed according to the state and that sort of thing. And so I just need, yes, go ahead, or don't.
I don't see why that's a problem.
That's exactly what Kevin said, so anyway, okay, so that's good. Also, I'd like to comment on the NAS meeting last week, which was really, really well done. And they have done a great job on Halloween. They were at up at the school, and then they had their festival, and I thought everything went really well, and then the meeting was very well attended last week. I thought it was real good, yeah. So, and I didn't get to the decorating because I had conflict with it.
We had a whole herd of Boy Scouts helping.
Oh,
Cub Scouts.
Okay, we'll move on to paying the bills.
All right, and I had one that was added to the file and got lost in the shuffle. That was one we needed a PO for. so we
Okay,
pulled
yeah.
it. Okay, so let's see.
I had a question on just one of them. We had a bill for $2,500 in regard to the eminent domain with a lawyer. And I wondered what that was for. It said maps. But I also wondered, that made me wonder, what is it that we ended up with over this? Do we have title to this? Do we have, what do we have that's a written documentation that says that we have?
We have a file right away.
We have a filed right away, and that's it. So everybody continues to pay the tax. We didn't have to pay any money or do any of that. Okay,
And hopefully that's the last lawyer bill. That must have been a straggler from.
Well, a couple of months ago, we had that, and it was like $465 or somewhere in there. That's why I questioned it too. I was like,
If it's, sorry, go ahead.
I was like, it's 2,500 out of nowhere, because on the last one, it said final billing.
right.
If it said maps and it's an even 2,500, I assume that's probably the surveyor's bill. They probably advanced and they're getting paid back or something like that. Did you pay for that second cert that you used the enrollments one? Yeah, so that's probably what that is.
I think that they should have, for our protection as well as anything, they should have had it more definitive, and that you should ask for the supporting documentation on that.
Okay,
Because we basically told everybody it was done, you had the final bill. Now all of a sudden we get something, it just says maps. It doesn't say what map, it doesn't say anything, it just says maps.
we have a formal filed title to the right of way.
Okay, that was my question. It just made me
We
think.
have that. It's over there in the box with all the other information, and it is filed in the county.
Okay, and is it 1,000 pages or just one page or?
It's relatively short. It's
Okay.
not one page, but it's not, I don't think it's 10. It's pretty
Okay.
short.
All righty, as long as we've got something, I'm happy about that, but the 2,500 should have paperwork it's a little more informative than that was.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see if they can give us. Something.
Yeah, because otherwise you got a couple bills coming in from me.
Yeah, I got maps.
I had to get maps too, Dave.
You don't make anywhere near what they do, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, but.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Need a motion to approve payments claim 1 through 1151. They total $201,000, $606. General, the A fund is 68,000. The water fund was 94,000 and wastewater was 38,000. Yeah, round numbers.
I move that we pay it right.
Right.
All in favor?
Aye.
You have a resolution to move a little bit of money around to keep our budget in balance.
How is our budget these days?
Pardon?
How is our budget these days?
I think we're reasonably okay.
Okay, good.
Whereas as of 11/19, the clerk treasurer has determined that monies available is insufficient to meet the required, and now therefore be it resolved, the board of directors authorizes following transfers as shown below. We're taking money from contingent, $2,081.44 from contingent and moving it to building inspector equipment. I think that's a replacement computer.
Yeah, no, I guess. It's their trust, but-
I will make that motion.
For a second,
Sure, my second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right, we need to decide if we want to have a separate organizational meeting, which is statutory by the state, but many villages do not. We have not for the last 2 years at least. We can do it at the beginning of, our December meeting on the 19th. It takes about half an hour to do. It's all the appointments and then establishing Robert's rules and all the normal stuff that we do every year.
Let's just do it that same night, come in an hour earlier, say.
Start at 6.
I'd be okay
Yeah,
with
should be
that.
okay.
Okay,
Wait, the same night as what?
The 19th.
the 19th.
Now, are we? You know, that,
Yeah, we've done it.
I know, but I don't know if it was.
We learned in many villages to do it.
Yeah, okay, so 6 o'clock Thursday, November 8th.
And has Kathy been re-sworn in or?
That usually happens, not at that meeting, but it could happen at that meeting. It may have already happened for all I know.
No, you gotta be sworn in,
You gotta sign another thing.
so don't forget.
All right.
And if anybody wants a change of any of your appointments, let me know. I've added the ethics committee. I talked to Bruce because his term has expired. None of the other zoning or planning people have expired. We're looking for a new historian since Harold has done absolutely nothing. So far, nobody's interested, so he'll remain unless we find somebody else. And the state is pushing us to name a physician to be the medical director. We have, for the last few years, just said it's the village board. And every year we get a nasty gram, so Bruce is talking. Bill is talking to the medical director for the ambulance to see if she'll do it. It's an unpaid position. And like when COVID happened, rather than the village board making some of those decisions, we could have had input from the medical director, but we had plenty from the governments that were telling us what to do all the time, so. Anybody have anything else?
And then we adjourn.
Is there a second?
So,
Argue over it, we'll all vote and say yes.
Yes.
Let's look at.
Thank
I
you very
have
much.
some stuff for you guys to sign though. The, we need
Signature on each resolution.
the fire contract,
Right here.
2 copies. Do you need to sign too? Why are there so many lines?
Every trustee normally signs it, and then there also might be, should be a line for the fire chief to sign. At least that's how New York streets. Yeah, well,
They
that's
don't
what you
do
did
that,
last
right?
year, then I'm sure it's fine. No one in New York, all the trustees, all the town board trustees, and then, the fire chief all have to sign.
Both of them do.
And I'll sign those tomorrow.
Okay, so we'll do that, and then village taxes. No, this just.
We're not paying taxes, we're not paying taxes this year.
Oh, no, this is us giving what's left over to Wayne County.
Thank you.
Who also don't like that.
No, we don't give them, to them. We give the numbers to Wayne County, I should say.
Oh,
We give them the
okay.
numbers